I'm going to run you through how to debug using print statements. I think this is a pretty effective way to debug. And so let's look through a simple example where we're going to add and multiply numbers. Feel free to pause the video, familiarize yourself with the code, and then come back when you're ready. So I see that my code wants to add numbers in my first function and multiply numbers in my second function. I state what the numbers are, and I call the different functions. I call the sum of the numbers, and I call the product of the numbers. So let's run this code and see what happens. Okay, so I see that the sum is 2, but the result is 15. So off the bat, that kind of seems odd, right? Like that can't really be correct, right? And then we're getting that the product is none. Well, that doesn't make any sense, right? So how would we debug with print statements is we can kind of help ourselves out. And let's say that we didn't see this error here that we're subtracting. So I'm going to say print adding numbers A and B. This is going to help me just see what I'm working with, right? Okay, but and now I return result, but I kind of want to see a message about my result. So your addition result is, and then I'll say results. Okay, now let's debug the multiplication function, because that doesn't seem right if the addition is 2, multiplication is 15. So I'll say that print, and I'll take this and I'll say that I am multiplying A and B, and again I want to get a message about my results. So I see that I already put that in, right? And great, okay, so let's run this again. So I'm seeing that I'm adding numbers 5 and 3, but I'm getting a sum of 2. Can you guys see that here? Okay, well, I know my numbers are 5 and 3, and the only way I can get 2 is if I'm subtracting, so let me change that to add. And if I'm getting none for my product down here, let's see. Let's try and print out multiply numbers, and we had x comma y. Okay, so let's run this again, and none. Well, let's look back at our function. We didn't call return, right? So let's return results. Okay, so now we see that the sum is 8, 5 and 3, yes, 8. And now we see we're multiplying 5 and 3. Well, we know 5 and 3 is 15, and we get 15. And we see that now our function on line 21 with this print statement returns 15. And this is how we can use print statements to help us debug. And then once you're done, you can get rid of them, the print statements. You can say, I'm done with this, and you can clean it up, get rid of what you don't need, like this, and we'll see that we have a little bit of a cleaner code. Sum is 8, product's 15.